Hi readers, welcome back to my channel, Lila Wanders and Reads. Lee here, and welcome to a special Saturday morning episode. I'm calling this Saturday Snacks. It is not the most creative title out there, however, whatever, who cares. Viewer Denisha Marshall 1929 asked for some more cookbook hauls, and so I thought on Saturday mornings early I would post a few of these, and we'll see how that goes. I've got enough cookbooks to do this for quite some time if I do it every Saturday. I'm not sure if I will. It's all up to you. And my coffee. So for the first Saturday Snacks, episode 1, Cravings, I thought I'd feature Chrissy Teigen. And that's how I thought I'd go about this cookbook haul episodes, is feature the cook or the cookbook author. And it would have probably been, I don't know, more something to feature Ina Garten because I just read her book, or someone else right now, but I chose Chrissy Teigen for a reason. Her 3 cookbooks kind of encompassed my rise and fall when it comes to cooking over the last 6-7 years. When I first moved to North Carolina, I went through my town and I ate out at every restaurant possible until I got sick of it and I realized I could probably do better at home. And I could. I had some disasters. I cooked primarily from cookbooks, but at some point between 2013 and 2018, I took an online cooking course, and that course focused on the basics at first. Knife cutting skills, cooking techniques, and that really transformed my cooking. I understand cooking a lot better now than I did when I was just reading from a cookbook. However, I still am going to continue to buy cookbooks because sometimes cookbooks give you ideas for different flavors that you would not have normally thought to put together. And sometimes they give you recipes you would have thought to put together, or flavors you would have thought to put together, but just hadn't yet. They also I find that you might see a recipe in one cookbook and be like, meh, but see it in another one and it just clicks. It's kind of like reading. So let's start with Chrissy Teigen's first book, Cravings, Recipes for All the Foods You Want to Eat. Now, if you look at this book is practically falling apart. Like, look at that. I have cooked from this so much. This was published in 2016, but before I get to that, I do need to say something. I've got my note cards here. So there has been some controversy on the internet, not recently, but a while back, about Chrissy Teigen and the fact that she was sort of a mean girl for a while, and she was. From everything I saw, she was kind of a mean girl. I think that she has reduced her presence on social media now. I did follow her, and I think I still do. I just don't think she posts as much. I did follow her through the loss of a child, and that was really sad. But, you know, people can make mistakes and grow from them. So I'm hanging in there with Chrissy Teigen unless she does something to prove me wrong. One thing that I can't remember if I read it in here or on social media or in an article, but one thing that really struck me about this cookbook is that she said that she wanted something for herself aside from just being John Legend's wife. That's the gist of it. And that really took me by surprise because she's a model, and I assumed that she had so much of her own, not just from being John Legend's wife. But again, that kind of goes back to a theme from Ina Garten's book, from Hillary Rodham Clinton's book, and now to Chrissy Teigen. The theme that's popped up lately is that privilege and wealth and success does not exempt you from abuse or loss or loneliness or self-doubt. So that is the lesson I'm taking right now. Another thing that I like about Chrissy Teigen's cookbooks is I like her voice, her writing voice. It sounds like her. It is fun. It is irreverent. She pokes fun at herself. So in that instance, I think that she would really be someone, once she gets past the mean girl stuff, someone that I'd like to hang out with. But let's talk about Cravings, book 1. Like I said, I have cooked this almost to pieces. And I don't think I've cooked from the other 2 cookbooks. This one, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 recipes that are real favorites. I've cooked more than that. Obviously, I haven't cooked the whole book. One of my go-to recipes to this day is the Dutch baby pancake. I absolutely love this recipe. It is so simple. She recommends whizzing up the ingredients in a blender. I don't do that. I use a hand mixer. It's more convenient for me. Also, have you tried to wash a blender? You got to take that shit apart, and it's just a pain in the ass. So a hand mixer is what I use, and that works for me. But you do you. Food processor would always work still. Clean up is a big thing for me. I don't like to do it, so I want as few dishes as possible. One thing about this recipe is it makes a huge Dutch baby pancake if you use it that way. But my sister gave me an idea that I never thought about. You can make the batter, choose a smaller cast iron pan, and break the recipe down, not break the recipe down, but make the recipe in thirds. Like, cook in your smaller pan, cook your Dutch baby, and then have the rest of your batter, cover it with saran wrap or whatever, and stick it in the fridge and use it for the next 2 days, instead of having one huge pancake that, especially if you're on your own, you can't eat in one sitting. So, thanks, sister. My all-time, probably favorite recipe, aside from the Dutch baby in this, was the prosciutto wrapped stuffed chicken breasts. They're stuffed with goat cheese and I think a cream cheese. Bacon's in there, prosciutto, cherry tomatoes. This is such a delicious dish. I really loved it. And I've made that time and time again. Now I'm like wanting it right now. But I'm not going to show you any more from the book because that's a lot. Some other recipes that were really good is a roasted whole fish. I have had that. I made that recipe before this book, but I go back to her for some of the flavors, and just kind of a reminder of cooking times, so I don't have to look it up online. She makes some super tuna melts that are super. Chicken lettuce wraps, and one of my favorites, a basil chicken, Thai basil chicken. I've got an arrow garden in my kitchen right now. It is brewing up some Thai basil, and I'm really looking forward to it getting to its fullness so I can use it and make some Thai basil chicken. So I said this was published copyright 2016, and then 2 years later in 2018 I pre-ordered Cravings Hungry for More. You can see, let's do a comparison. So these are all the tabs from this one, and you can see how this is falling apart. The spine on this one is barely even cracked. There is one tab in here. There's a tab up here. I just put that in for this video. And I have long since blamed 2020 on me losing my cooking mojo. And that is a large, large part of when I lost my cooking mojo. Because in 2020, you all know what happened. We had the pandemic. I also moved into my house, so I had to get my house unpacked in a hurry. And unlike a lot of other people, I was fortunate enough to keep my job, but I had to go into work every day, and I was not working from home like the majority of people that we worked with were. So I had to go into work every day. It was very stressful. There was a lot of shit going on in my job specifically, And when I would get home, even if I got home early, and I did most days, I felt like I needed to sit at the computer, and I just was too stressed and too ish to think about cooking. I would go to this part of the pandemic I do miss. The Food Lion, opens up at 7 a.m. So there was no traffic on the road. I could leave my house about 5 till 7, hit the Lion, pick up the groceries I wanted for supper, go to work, put them in the fridge at work or freezer at work, and then bring them back home. So I didn't have to go. I loved going to the grocery store at 7 a.m. Nobody was there. Nobody was on the road. No issue with parking at work, but those days are over. But regardless of that, I still lost my cooking mojo. But I've gone off track. I think it must have started before then, because again, I bought this in 2018, pre-ordered it. I ordered it as soon as I knew it was out for publication. And I have not made one single thing in here. I have the impression in my mind that there was a lot of sandwiches in here. But when I went to prepare for this video, there are 7 sandwiches in here. And a lot of other non-sandwich items. There's, plenty of things that now I really want to go back and take a look at this. Now that I'm trying to get my mojo back, I'm going to come back and take a look at this and see what I want. Now, when I was preparing for this, ironically-ish, or not so, one of the things that really caught my eye was a sandwich. And that was a sweet and spicy peach and brie grilled cheese sandwich. I do love a grilled cheese. I do not eat them at home often. And I say I don't eat sandwiches often. If I go to a restaurant and sandwiches are on the menu, that's not what I'm having. If I can have a sandwich anytime. But it's funny that the sandwiches were the turn off, and now going through them again, it's like now they're the turn on. Especially that sweet and spicy peach and brie grilled cheese. If I can find some halfway decent peaches right now, I'm going to make this. Because it's got peach, brie, and Thai sweet chili sauce in the grilled cheese. This looks really, really good. I'll make that. Okay. So again, we're trying to keep these short. I don't know how many minutes I'm at now. I can't tell. So, third Chrissy Teigen book is Cravings Altogether, Recipes to Love. This was copyrighted 2021. I bought it as soon as I found it. I don't remember if I think I bought it in store because I had lost track of what she was doing. I've not made anything in here either. The spine is barely cracked, but I have faith after the first cookbook that what she has, her recipes will be good. I'm flicking through this. There's a lot of soups in here which I'm all about. I love soup season. There is when we have time off for the holidays, I think I'm going to make this. This is a spicy sausage pasta fagioli. I love pasta fagioli. I could probably make it with ground beef since I don't have sausage with me or on me or in the house. And I've got a ton of ground beef in my freezer. But this looks so delicious. I love pasta fagioli. Let's see. She's got a shawarma spice skirt steak salad. Tongue twister. I love shawarma, and I have skirt steak in the freeze, and I've got shawarma seasoning in the pantry. Whatever. Beef stroganoff, I'm about beef stroganoff out. That is my go-to comfort meal. Lamb and feta smash burgers, awesome. And a cheesy turkey roll-up with creamy pesto sauce. I've got a pre-ordered, pre-cooked meal that I'll just have to heat that I ordered for Thanksgiving. I might make these cheesy turkey roll-ups with cooked turkey with this creamy pesto sauce as part of the after Thanksgiving meals, because it's really simple. I mean, I'll have my turkey breast already cooked. You need mozzarella, boursin, cheese, yum, and then the pesto sauce. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Anywho, that is it for my first Saturday Snacks episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know these are kind of rambling because I'm not really sure how to talk about cookbooks, and this isn't a cooking show. This is a book show. So I'd love any feedback on how I can improve. I really appreciate that. I do recommend, especially that first Chrissy Teigen cookbook. I highly recommend it. Everything I made in there, one thing I made did not turn out the first time, and I haven't tried it again. That's some kind of Parmesan baked eggs or something like that. But again, everything else, perfect. So I do want to keep these books out. I want to try to make that peach and brie grilled cheese, even though it's not peach season. I bet if I could find some decent enough peaches and try it now, and then compare it in the summertime. And I really need to get offline and get back in my books. Look at that. That looks delicious. Anywho, have you cooked from any of these other two, Hungry for More or Altogether? If you have, I'd love to hear what recipes you tried and what you recommend. Well, this is the beginning of a new kind of episodic journey on my channel. Saturday Snacks, they'll air 6:30 Saturday mornings. Maybe not every morning, every Saturday morning. We'll see how this one goes, and we'll see what I'm up for. That is it for me. Thanks again for sticking with me on my journey. Happy reading and happy cooking if you do it.